welcome to STEM with Nanogirl, and today we're going to be talking about electricity. And electricity is actually what we call the movement of electrons. So there are these tiny things that we're all made up of, and they're called atoms. And in an atom you have a nucleus, which has a proton and a neutron, and spinning around the outside you have electrons. And it's these electrons that actually make electricity. And so today we're going to be talking about the electrons. And we're going to be talking about the electrons in two different ways. One, the way that they flow, and two, the way that they can actually rub past each other and create a charge. And the reason why we're doing electricity today is because we have had great questions come in from you, our audience, all about electricity. So why don't we get started with a question? So question number one has come from Tiger. Tiger, what was your question? Let's have a look. So Tiger wants to know, how was electricity invented? And that's a really, really good question. Here's the thing, we didn't invent electricity. It's already natural, it's already around us. And you've probably seen natural electricity if you've ever seen a lightning storm or a lightning bolt. So if you've ever been in a thunder and lightning storm, the lightning is actually electricity. And what happens is these clouds roll together in a storm, and inside the clouds, right at the top, are tiny little frozen raindrops or little bits of ice. And little bits of ice, they rub past each other, and when they rub past each other, they create an electrical charge, and that charge gets stored in the cloud. Now, what actually happens is this charge creates positivity at the top of the cloud and negativity at the bottom of the cloud based on charge, and opposites attract. So the negative charge from the cloud is attracted to the positive charge from the earth, and when they meet, that's when the electrons can go all the way down and hit the earth, and that's what you see as lightning, when you see lightning hit the earth. You can also have lightning be just in the clouds together. So we never invented electricity. It's actually already part of Mother Nature's amazing skills and amazing strengths. However, the first real evidence of us using electricity was actually from 2,600 years ago with the ancient Greeks, and there's evidence that they took amber from trees, which is fossilized sap of the trees, and they took that off and they rubbed it against animal skin, and they found when they rubbed it against the animal skin, they could actually pick up dry grass. And that is the first use that we have of people using static electricity. So great question. Okay, what's our next question?
Okay, what happens when you put like electricity with water, like wires with water? How does it react to it? Does it have like, does the force make it like shoot up, or, yeah?
That is a great question, Sam. So you may have heard, make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything electrical, and that's really, really important. So what actually happens is water can be a conductor of electricity. So remember how we talked about electrons being able to flow. So imagine this little paperclip is my electron. Can you see that? And it can slide down. So that's my electron flowing. Now, water allows it to flow as well, but only certain types of water. So the water that comes out of your tap has minerals and ions in it, and seawater has salt in it. And so they can carry these electrons, which means the electrons can flow and the electricity can flow, which means that you would get a bit of a shock. But interestingly, if you take all of these particles out of the water by distilling the water, distilled water doesn't actually conduct electricity. So Sam, it depends on what type of water you're talking about, but I'm assuming you're going to be talking about normal bathtub water. This is why you should never dry your hair in the bath. It's a really good rule. And so what actually is happening is, as you put the electricity in through, maybe you put an appliance in there, you may have seen some videos online where the appliance shoots out of the bathtub. It's very dangerous, by the way. But what's happening is it's creating a charge as it goes in, because it's conducting all of this electricity into the bath water, and that's the force that you see pushing it out. The basic rule is dry your hands before you touch anything electrical, and remember that electricity is really, really dangerous. Okay, so we've learned a little bit about electricity. Don't forget, if you have any questions that you want to send in about science and we can theme a whole show on it, you can do that at superfans@nanogirllabs.com. That's superfans@nanogirlslab.com. Okay, so send us your questions, let us know what's going on. Now, we love it when you send us experiments that you have been doing, and Mila is a part of our subscriber plan. She's part of the Nanogirls Lab subscribers, and she has done one of our experiments from our subscription model, which is the sailboat car. So let's take a look at Mila and the video that she has sent in. That is super cool. Experiment from Mila. Look, she's blowing on it, and you can see that she's made the little wheels out of cardboard, and she has a paper sail, and that paper sail she's able to blow and move the car. Thank you, Mila, for sharing that. That's super awesome. Okay, now today we are talking about electricity, and we've talked about how the electricity that comes out of your plug that powers your lights and everything is the flow of electrons. So imagine my little paper clip is an electron, and it flows down the wire. So you may have seen electricity wires outside your house. What they're doing is flowing these tiny weeny electrons to your home, and then when you turn your plug on, it goes into your appliance, and that's how your light turns on. But the electricity we're going to do today, or talk about today, is static electricity. So instead of the electrons flowing, we're going to keep them close to each other. We're going to make them close to each other, and they don't like being close to each other. So they're going to try and find somewhere else to go. So what you need is your little sheet of paper, your plastic ruler, your pencil, and a bit of blue tack or plasticine, and if you've got some scissors, that'll be a little bit helpful. So start with your piece of paper, and you want to cut a rectangle out that's about 2 centimeters by 9 centimeters. So measure it out, 2 centimeters by 9 centimeters. And then if you've got some scissors, you can cut it with your scissors, and if you don't worry, you can probably just fold it and tear it. So you're going to end up with a little rectangle like this. Okay, now I want you to take your rectangle, and I want you to fold it in half lengthways down the middle like this, and then unfold it, and then fold it in half widthways, and then unfold it. So you'll end up with 2 folded lines in the middle, and then I want you to pinch the middle in like this. So it makes a little bit of a, I guess like a cup shape, like that. You just want to crease it and fold it a little bit, and the reason why we're doing that, I'll show you in a second, is if you take your plasticine or your blue tack and you stick your pencil upright in the top like this, put it here so you might be able to see it a little bit easier against my lab coat, and then you take your little piece of folded paper and you turn it so the cup sits over the pencil. You should be able to balance it like this, and it should spin around. So that's what you're trying to do. You're going to fold it so that it sits on top of your pencil and then spins around like that. Now, you may have seen static electricity experiments before using a balloon. So I take a balloon, and blow it up. And if I rub it against my hair, I can charge the electron. We'll get the electrons to sit on the balloon. And then I can use that to hopefully get my little tissue here to raise up. Can you see that? So that is static electricity. Ooh, look at that. That's amazing. And that's only using the balloon. And so what we have done is we've created a charge, a negative charge on the balloon from rubbing against my hair, and opposites attract. So it's going to the positive charge on the tissue and getting it to lift up like this. So we're going to do an experiment that is very similar to that, but instead we're going to use it to rotate this. So once you've got your little bit of paper on here, here's what I want you to do. Take your hair and your ruler, and your plastic ruler, I want you to rub it against your hair like this. Rub it as fast as you can. And then I want you to take it close to, but not touching, your piece of paper. And you should see that your piece of paper moves. Can you see your piece of paper moving around a little bit? Look at that, mine is spinning. I'll try and put my t-shirt in the way so you can see it. You should find that the static electricity has enough force that it's able to repel and push. Look at that. Push your little thing around without you touching it, just using the invisible charge of static electricity. And I saw that when I brought my balloon closer, oh, I lost my balloon there. Here it is. If I do it on a bigger thing like my balloon, it might move even more. Whoa, look at that. Can you see it? So just using static electricity. So I've got these charged electrons sitting there wanting to be repelled against the negative charge on my piece of paper. I can now totally spin this around just using either a ruler or a balloon if you've got one. Look at that. There you go. That's the power of static electricity, and static electricity is where we get the electrons to all sit together, as opposed to electricity that comes out of your power socket, which is the flow of electrons that goes like this. So there's our electricity experiment for today. Send me a video, show me how it goes. I'm still quite static apparently because this is still spinning around. Okay, so let me see where we're up to. We've done the experiment. Now it's time to test your knowledge. So this is a true or false set of questions. So just don't think about it, as quickly as you can, come up with the answer. Here we go, Nanogirl quiz, true or false. Question number 1 is, lightning is made by ice. True or false, true or false, what do you think? Well done, it is true. And we learnt this before when we talked about how it is made from ice up in the clouds rubbing together. And so lightning is these little bits of ice or frozen rain rubbing together, creating a charge, just like when we rub the balloon on our hair. And then eventually they create lightning. Okay, question number 2, get ready, true or false. Electricity is hotter than the sun. It is actually way hotter than the sun. So scientists believe that it's somewhere between 5 and 9 times hotter than the surface of the sun. That's why electricity is really, really dangerous. Don't touch it. Final question for our quiz today. Question 3, here we go. Sharks use electricity. Do sharks use electricity? What do you think? It is true. Sharks use something called electroreception, which means so we can see things with our eyes, we can hear things with our ears. Sharks have this amazing sense where they can sense things using electricity. And what's really cool is all of your cells in your body actually use electricity too. And so what sharks can do is they can sense this electricity in the cells of living things, like fish that they might want to eat. And they can see where they're moving using electrical signals and then eat them for their dinner. So this is a really cool thing, and we're still trying to understand how sharks do this. And they use an ampulla of Lorenzi. If you look at a picture of a shark up close and you look at their nose, you will see these little tiny black dots. A bit like if you saw a kitten with whiskers, the black dots on their cheek. It's a bit like that, but it's more on the front of their nose, and they're filled with jelly. And these are the parts of the shark that they use to sense electricity. It's a very cool skill. I would love to have that skill. We don't have that skill. So that is our quick science lesson, or a STEM lesson on electricity this morning. Hopefully your experiment worked. Don't forget to send us in your pictures so we can see them. And next week we will be learning a whole new topic depending on whatever you send me as your questions this week. So don't forget to send your questions in. I'm just going to check if there's any more questions. Oh look, we've got lots of things on the chat. Emma wants to know, how did I become a scientist? I literally became a scientist by doing experiments like this at home and then falling in love with it and then wanting to be one when I grew up. And Jacob and Matthew in Auckland. I'm just saying hi to you. Hi Jacob and Matthew in Auckland. Have I ever invented anything? I think that's from Frankie. Have I invented anything? Yes, I've invented lots of things. Throughout my scientific career, I've been able to invent lots and lots of things. And hi Nanogirl, I would like to know, what is the tallest kind of tree in the world? Well, I don't know, but I have a friend that does. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask my friend, who is a plant biologist, to let me know what she thinks, and I will let you know next week. So thank you for joining. If you are a Nanogirl Lab subscriber, I'm going to be on the Facebook Live in your private group in about the next 5 minutes to talk about the experiments that we have done this week. If you're not a subscriber, feel free to join. Find us at nanogirlslab.com. Otherwise, I'll see you all next week, and subscribers, I'll see you all in 5 minutes. Bye.